I was thinking, like, you know, in the video when you edit it, you could be like, that make that sound like, what, too much? That's all I have. What's up, world? Today we are looking at the TOEIC test and the reading section, specifically one type of question in the reading section, the incomplete sentences. So let's get to it and let's get wordy. Alright, so the incomplete sentences, these are basically multiple choice grammar questions. There are many different types of these questions, but today we are looking at word form questions. So let's start with our first example. If your passport is no longer blank, then you should use some other form of identification. Is the answer A, valid, B, validate, C, validating, or D, validation? So let's think about it for a minute. If you picked A, you are correct. The answer is valid. So how do you answer this question? Well, you have to know your parts of speech, or what type of word do you need in the blank. So what are our parts of speech? Well, we have nouns, we have verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions and phrasal verbs. In our example, we had to find a word to describe passport, and passport is a noun. So, what words describe nouns? Adjectives, right? So we have to find the answer that is an adjective. Answer B is a verb. Answer D is a noun. So we have two left. And the best answer is answer A, a very clear adjective. So here's your first tip for these questions. Ask yourself, what kind of word do I need? What part of speech do I need in the blank? Alright, let's do some more examples. So, I will put up 3 question slides, and after each slide, pause the video, try the question, and then after all 3, we'll talk about the answers. Question 1. We have spent too much money and will have to blank for the rest of the year. A, economy, B, economize, C, economist, D, economically. Question 2. We won't be able to sell this product if we don't price it blank. A, competitively, B, competitive, C, competition, D, competitor. Question 3. A lease is an blank between a landlord and a tenant. A, agree, B, agreed, C, agreeable, D, agreement. Okay, so let's check our answers. Let's start with number 1. The answer is B, economize. So, how did we know the answer was a verb? Well, before the blank, we have the word to. And a lot of times, if you have to before blank, this means you need the base verb in the blank. This is what we call the infinitive. To plus the base verb. Number 2. The answer is A. The answer is competitively, an adverb. So what is the function of adverbs again? Dramatic pause. Yes, to describe verbs. And this adverb is describing the word price, a verb. We have to price it competitively. Also, don't forget, adverbs answer the question how something is done. And number 3, the answer is D. That's a D. Agreement. Because what do we have before the blank? An article, an, which means after we need a noun. Agreement is our noun. Alright, so now we've played with some questions, and let's talk about another tip. One other really important thing to study are your suffixes. What is a suffix? Well, a suffix is the small part of a word that comes at the end. For example, in the last questions, we saw suffixes like eyes and lee and mint. These specific suffixes have meanings. They tell us what type of word we have. So, as you study for the TOEIC, don't just study the vocabulary, but also take each vocabulary word and see if you can figure out the different parts of speech. Why? Because even if you don't know the meaning of a word, you can still find the answer if you know your parts of speech. If you know you need an adverb, and you know adverb suffixes are ly, then you just find that answer, and you're good to go. So let's play with a couple words. Let's take the suffix ment and ask yourself, how many words can you think of that are nouns that end with ment? Go. We have management, commitment, enjoyment, amusement. Now, let's think of adjectives that end in ive. Go. We have creative, positive, selective, active, and destructive. And finally, verbs. Verbs that end in ize. Eyes. Ready? Go. We have prioritize, legalize, emphasize, and
minimize.
Minimize! Alright, so if you want to continue to study suffixes, in the description box below, I've included a link to my website, michaelgarretesl.squarespace.com. You can download the worksheet there and use it to study for the test. Alright, so let's do a quick review of what we talked about today. We went over the incomplete sentences on the TOEIC and specifically word form questions. For these questions, you have to know your parts of speech. What types of words do you need in the blanks? To do that, you also need to study word suffixes in order to find which words go in the blanks. Alright, so we are finished. And if you like this video, then comment below, give me a thumbs up, send me a letter, send me an email, visit my website, and subscribe to the channel.
Send us pizza.
Oh, send us pizza. I'm Teacher Mike. See you next time. Peace out.